Well, I am Uncle Cliff, and welcome to Be Inspired Today. And I have a wonderful guest here today, my little niece, Kim Bayonne. I've known her since she was just a little girl, her and her sister Ashley, and watched them grow up. And Kim is the morning news producer at WWL-TV in New Orleans, Louisiana. I am so proud of you, Kim.
Thank
Say
you.
hello to our audience and tell them your story.
Yes. Hello, everyone, and thank you again for having me. I appreciate it. I'm honored. Um, Getting into our story, I feel that my story is really about the centerfold of having faith in God and trusting His process for your life. Um, Growing up, I was raised by my aunts and my grandmother, as you know, and you have those difficulties as a child when you don't have your parents and wondering, where's my life headed already? Like, what's going on? But I'm just so grateful for our family for, just raising us in the word and keeping that instilled in us. And that's what's been in us since we came out the womb is the word of God and, being one with God. And so I just want to start my story with saying, excuse me, I just want to
That's all
start by
right.
saying that whatever God has for your life is what will happen. And it's up to you on whether you want to listen to him and give him that authority in your life. But it will be the best decision you've ever made. Starting with me, I will say I'll fast forward. I am a graduate of Northwestern State University in Louisiana, Natchitoches, Louisiana. I started in school studying to be a doctor, and which was funny because I didn't pass any of those classes. So I was clearly on a path of my own. And I went to my guidance counselor at the time just to figure out what to do moving forward. And he put a bug in my ear to try communications. And he felt I spoke well and he felt I knew how to write well, and that would be something I could achieve in. So we gave it a shot and it ended up working out. And I ended up taking an internship at my previous news station in Shreveport, Louisiana. I got that through, excuse me, through a class there. And during this internship, they're kind of just giving us the backgrounds, the ins and outs of how everything works and how it functions. And at the time, I was just doing it for the credit so I can pass, so I can graduate, not knowing this is where God wants me to start.
Yeah.
And when I was in my internship, they came to me telling me about a job position that was opening. And if I was willing to work on learning the job during my internship, there'd be a possibility that they could offer me the position once my internship ended. So I went ahead and took it and worked at learning this news producer position because I've never heard of this job before. I didn't know what it entailed, anything like that. So they trained me up, and about a month or two later, I graduated and they offered me the job. So, fresh out of college, it's an opportunity. I took it and it really molded me, especially learning to transition to the workforce. And I got a lot of benefits out of it. Um, I will say it got to a point where it wasn't as enjoyable. And I started realizing maybe this isn't a place I'm going to stay or I need to stay and I needed to move on. But I didn't know where I was moving on to. So I was, looking up different kind of jobs, seeing what I'd be qualified for, trying to do it myself. And I couldn't come up with anything. So I took a moment, went to God, and I just asked him to guide my path. And I told him that I would put down everything. I would stop trying to do it myself. I would stop trying to listen to myself and listen to him and guide to where he wants me to go. And a few weeks later, I had a friend call and tell me that she thinks I'd be good in New Orleans. And it was, it started as just a conversation, and I would just tell her I would never move to New Orleans. I don't like it there. I don't want to do that, just fighting. And, something told me just give it a try. Just try. The worst that could happen, you don't go. So just give it a
Mhm.
try and see what happens. So she connected me with an agent who, long story short, ended up getting my work across the nation. And I was getting offers from all over the place. And I had WWL-TV call and say they were interested in meeting me. So they flew me out. I had my job interview. Everything went well, but I was still hesitant because I said I would never move to New Orleans. So when I left and I went back to Shreveport, I just prayed about it and I said, God, you guide me to where I want to go. I don't want to live there, but if that's where you're sending me, I'll go. And a couple days later, they called offering me the job, so many benefits, so much help. And it was almost like one of those things that just falls in your lap, thank God. And when that happened, it was just confirmation for me of, you let God handle it. And I remember having a moment with him and him telling me, this is what happens when you let go. When you stop trying to have control of what's going on and you let me have control and you just have faith in what I'm doing, this is what happens. And so it all, ended up working out to move. And we ended up coming down here. I've been here a little over 2 years now. And, it's been working out really well. Um, I'm a wife to my husband Corey. I have two children, a 5-year-old and 8-month-old. And, balancing three jobs, I call it, at once can sometimes be a lot. But
Yes, it was a job.
I,
So it was definitely a job.
yes, but I feel when you have God as your foundation and as your center stone, these worldly obstacles that you think you can't handle, He can handle. And I had to learn that it's not meant for me to handle.
Yeah.
And, just keeping God first and, working with my husband and my children, and everything has been, going well. It's not hard to balance when you let God have the control. I'll say that. It's hard to balance when you try to do it yourself. And, coming down here in this profession, my profession is one of non-bias. You can't, it's the news. So you can't be biased. You can't have an opinion when you're writing something, for them to say on the air. It has to be the facts, strictly the facts, and that's it. You can't sway left or right. So, and it also, sometimes goes in the workplace itself. And, being in my profession, you see a lot. You see a lot. You deal with
Yeah.
a lot of diverse, situations. And I feel like my faith has kept me strong in that. And not only in that, I feel like I've been able to share my faith with others and bring others close to Christ in what I'm doing. And I like to say that sometimes, our career paths are not just for us. You know, we're here to tell souls about Jesus and bring souls to Jesus. That's our job. That's what we're here for.
Yes.
And so he's going to get his job done one way or the other.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
starting in this career path, at first I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where I was going, but I started building these relationships. And I've noticed, no matter where I'm going, I'm building more and more of these relationships. And, people will tell me, oh, you're so bright. You're so positive. I don't know how you're so positive. And and sometimes you have to force it a little bit. But I do that because when I realize that my career is not just for me, that I'm here to also help other people. And there could be, although we're helping, the people who watch us every day, my job could be right where I work. You know, I could be helping a coworker and not know it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And with me learning that and just having people come to me and say, Kim, I haven't prayed in years.
Hmm.
And just talking to you, I went home and I had to pray. I said a prayer. I talked to God for the first time. I opened the Bible and I read it and it's just things like that that helped me realize that, our career path is more than just a worldly title. It's a job, and sometimes God will put us in those positions to reach those people. And so doing that has helped push me forward as well. And I will say, I know we wanted to touch on the Hurricane Ida subject. Uh, that was a trying time. That was It wasn't my first time working a hurricane because I've been here 2 years, so we have them a lot. But it was the first time since I've been here that a storm of that magnitude actually hit our area.
Wow.
And a lot of people I worked with, they had been there for years. So they were there for Hurricane Katrina and, other big storms like that. But this was my first storm. And being in the news, when things like this happen, we don't get to evacuate with everybody else. Thankfully, we're kept safe and we have our necessary resources, but we don't get to leave with everyone else. We go to our station and we basically live there until it's safe to leave. And that allows us to stay on the television 24/7, as long as people
Yeah.
need, so we can help them. So it wasn't my first time, dealing with the storm. So when it first started, I wasn't, too worried. I was like, okay, they want us to come in and pack a bag just in case. I'll go, but I'll come back home when I get off work. And when we kind of started, we're in there, the show was going, and we started realizing, okay, this thing is coming.
Mm.
And it was a surreal feeling for me. Just not never being in that situation before, but having to hold it together anyway because of what I was doing and the job I had to do.
Right.
And I leaned on God. That was one of the moments that I leaned on him like never before, because
Mm.
I was ready to go myself. I wanted to evacuate with everybody else. I didn't want to stay. And I was nervous, and my family had evacuated. So I was here by myself, and we went ahead and we thought we were going to leave, but when our shift was over, it was too bad and we had to stay there. So we
Mm.
stayed and we slept. And when I woke up, there was an alert on my phone that we had sent out saying the power is gone everywhere. You can't go,
Wow.
like, the power. I mean, I've never seen something like that in my life. I mean, you couldn't even see your feet. It was pitch black. And it was the entire city, neighboring cities. It was dark. And I remember this silence, like it was just an eerie silence. You couldn't hear anything. There was no wind. It was just silent. And I sat there just thinking, what could be the reason? Is it just, unworldly? It's a natural disaster. Is there something in this? And I feel like sometimes God brings us these things to take a moment to reflect and to see what we're doing and how
Mm.
we're living our lives. Just how I feel about, the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. Those were all times for us to sit and reflect on what we're doing and are we going in the right path? And most importantly, is he the head of our lives? Are we ready at any time?
Yeah.
Because he's coming at any time. And
Mm.
that moment it was really powerful for me because it made me realize I've got more to do. And
Mm.
not only that, I haven't been doing enough. A lot of people feel, your one job is, wherever you're working. That's your job. But like I mentioned earlier, our job is to win souls.
That's right.
And I felt in that moment, God was telling me, you haven't been doing enough to win souls. You've been
Mm.
doing your worldly job, but the job I sent you here to do, you haven't been doing it. And
Mm.
in that moment of silence, I felt him say to me that I had to do better and I needed to do more. And I felt like that's something, that could go across the board sometimes, because sometimes we feel, I'm saved, I'm okay, my family's okay, we're saved. But there's so
Right.
many souls out there that are not. and that is our duty to bring them to him. So that brought me closer to just kind of start, ministering, on the job, off the job, wherever I may be, because, my job will give me certain connections. And I feel like that brought my relationship stronger with God, just trusting him in that moment. And even on my entire journey, I just feel every time I tried to do it myself, it didn't work. And I would question myself, and I would wonder, am I not good enough? Am I not doing that? And I know that I feel like that's a trick of the enemy. Sometimes when we try to take our own path and we don't listen to what God has to say, the enemy can come in and we give him that door. And he gives us those spirits of doubt and fear, and I can't do this, and I don't need to do that, and I'm not, you know, and we let those ill thoughts come in. But I feel when we stay on our path with God and you keep your faith in him, and that's, I know it's hard because it's easier to say to keep your
Yeah.
faith, especially when things are looking down, down, down. But the greatest thing I feel about God is that he knows our story. He knows what we don't see years from now, and our job is to trust and to have faith. And as long as we believe and we do the work, he is going to do everything else. And I feel that that's a big message in today's world of everyone trying to, do it themselves, or especially with the hard times that people have come on, they want to make a quick dollar or they want to do this. But really, the end of, the end of that struggle is just trusting what God has for you and following what he says to do, and, allowing that path to come. So I feel that's what my journey has taught me. And I just hope that if there's anybody out there who may feel like you don't know where you're going, or, if you're young, I'm 28 years old, so I got a lot of living to do. But if you are my age or younger, and, you just feel like you don't know what's going on or you don't know where you want to be, it's okay. You shouldn't feel like that's a burden. It's okay to not know. And the best part is God is strongest when we're the weakest. And once you give him that power, I promise you, you're going to the next level. So I just want to encourage any young kids out there that whatever you feel God has put on your heart to do, you do it, no matter how small it starts off, no matter if it's starting a lemonade stand or a candy stand, no matter if God put that in your heart, you do it and you trust him to bring you to that next level and you won't regret it.
That is so awesome. Awesome, Kim. You are really a minister.
Oh,
I
Lord,
know
thank you.
that your grandmother Patricia, wow, when she sees this broadcast, she's just going to be glorifying God, and your aunts and your dad too.
Thank you.
You said a whole lot of things, and I'm so glad that you touched on, what God expects for us, and that we
Mhm.
can always do better to share the love of Jesus Christ with them.
Mhm.
But earlier you shared with us about how God visited you in dreams,
Yes.
and that these dreams would keep coming back and coming back and coming back. I call it like an echo. And
Mhm.
so that echo over and over and over. Talk about that a little bit more.
Yes. So, they started when I was a young child. I was very fearful as a child. I was scared of everything, scared of bugs, scared of this, scared of that. And and of course, I was scared knowing that Jesus was talking to me. And so I would shy away from that kind of stuff. But he knew to reach me in my sleep, because that's when my
Mm.
mind wasn't active. That's when I wasn't thinking too much and I wasn't, overanalyzing anything. And he would come to me in my sleep, and it'd be very simple. And it would just be like small things, just, keep your faith, keep going, just keep going. It'd just be small things. And it would blow me away because it would be him, or what I thought, he would look like. And he'd be looking at me dead in my eyes and would tell me, just keep your faith, just keep going, just keep going. And at first I just kept thinking, it's just a dream, it's just, it's just something happened. But the more I started having them at critical moments,
Mm-hmm.
where they only made sense. And when I started thinking about it, I said, okay, I was probably about 14 or 15 when I kind of just thought to myself, I said, okay, wait, this is really God talking to you, because this has been happening for years and it keeps going and it keeps happening. And that's how he communicates to this day. How he communicates with me is in my sleep. And like you said, hearing that echo, it helped me in those situations with how to move forward and how to come out of them. And I want people to know too that, he doesn't come to everybody in their dreams. He comes to you, the best way he knows how to reach you. And he can talk to anybody. He'll talk to anybody. He can talk to you, whoever's watching this right now. He can.
That's
It's
right.
up to
That's
us
right.
to give him that space. It's up to us to give him that piece, that 10 minutes a day, your 20 minutes, whatever you want to do. It's up to you to steal away for a minute and to talk to him and give him your ear to listen. And once you hear from him, you'll hear what he has for you and where he wants you to go.
Wow, so powerful, so powerful. One of the things that I want to go back to and talk about your family, and I've met Corey, your husband, and your two sons, and so what I learned from him is that he's very patient, just from
Yes.
watching him, and that he's there for his family. So
Mhm.
talk about that, having the type of husband that allows you to shine and do what you're doing. I know
Yes.
that's not always easy, but God sent you the right husband. I can see that.
Yes. Amen. Yes. Well, it's so funny because it ties into how we met. I had a period in time we met when I was in college, and I was so tired of just, you're dating all these guys. Everybody's young, so nobody's intentions are good.
Mm-hmm.
And I got so frustrated one day, and I just said, you know what? I'm not talking to anybody. I don't want nobody to call me. I don't want anybody to take me anywhere. I don't want to do anything. And I just stopped. And I said, you know what? God, when you bring him here, I'm going to know. And I'm just going to sit back. And when you bring him, I'll know. And
Mm-hmm.
it was a couple months later, I met him and I just paid him no mind. I just, whatever, whatever. But he kept popping up. And so I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, God, something's happening here. So, we ended up talking for a while and we ended up really close. And I say that to say to a lot of young women who may be watching this, you always think that you have to go find your husband, but that's
Mm-hmm.
not the case. He has to find you. The Bible says, he
That's
who
right.
finds a good wife, he has to find you. It's your job to prepare for that. It's your job to get yourself together, make sure you're in the right space, make sure you're prepared for that relationship. And when God feels you are ready, he will bring him. But it's not up to us to go looking. So, and I feel that's where a lot of us go wrong. Even I just like we go wrong with that, thinking we have to be out there and we need to go do this and and that's not how it goes. So thankfully that's how that happened. But he has been so supportive. I'll say he's the calm side.
Mm-hmm.
He helps me keep a level head. And he's been so, the word I want to say, I just helpful and generous. And because my position, there's no clock in, clock out. It's just, it's whatever happens in the day. And not even that, the type of job it is, you can go anywhere in this country.
Wow.
And he was born and raised in Alexandria, Louisiana, which is about an hour away from Shreveport. And I wanted to take this job in New Orleans, but I had my husband and we had our first child at the time. And I wanted to consult with him to see if he was okay and how he felt about, relocating, because he had never been that far from his family before. And, thank God, we worked together and he was willing to, relocate. And he just said, you know what? This is the best move. It's the best move for you right now, but I know this is going to benefit our family as well. And I'm willing to do what I have to do. So
Powerful.
he was able to, transfer his position to, also get his job down here. So it ended up working out great. And,
Hmm.
as much as I said I didn't want to move to New Orleans, I also feel that God sent us here for our family because, before we moved here, we were, having some small marital issues. But the move, it kind of gave us a fresh start. And not
Hmm.
even that, it gave us a different dependency on one another. And I feel like that brought us stronger and it helped our foundation, and I felt that it made us more of one than what we already were. And, I was hesitant to come here, because I just how I feel about the city sometimes. But I feel that this was one of the best moves we could have ever made because not only did it help us, career wise, it helped us in our marriage and in our relationship as well.
Wow, that's a mouthful right there,
Yeah.
Kim. I hope that you are being inspired to hold on to positive expectations. And that's what I hear you telling our audience, Kim, is
Yes.
just hold on to God. He's the one that's going to direct your path. He is the
Mm-hmm.
one that is leading you. He's the one that's guiding you. And
Yes.
then you think that you're, like you said, you were going there for a job, but it also strengthened your marriage.
Yes.
That's really a wonderful testimony. Kim, I want to thank you again for being our guest today. Such a wonderful story. Again, I'm so proud of
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
And God is going to use you even more than what you think
Wow.
that He's already done. And
Wow.
28 years old, you're on your way, girl.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. This has been an honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.